All right, you ready to start? You ready? Let's go. Welcome, everyone. Good morning to you. I am Ron. This is Core Without the Floor. We should get started. I think we should warm up just a little bit first, though. Okay? You with me on this one? Knees up. Small steps. So, speaking of balance and gait, let's make sure that our toes are forward, knees are forward, hips are forward. Don't let your feet go out. Anytime we're doing any of these exercises, you always want to concentrate on toes being forward, especially if we do like a side raise or something like that. Also, a side bend, you want to make sure that that spine is only bending sideways. Spines don't like to do multiple things at once. They're like me. They're not multitaskers. Whoa, falling. So just take it easy with it. Make sure that you have that alignment always. You want to strengthen up the muscles in the alignment that you want the body to be in so that when they do get strong, they'll hold you right where you need to be. All the joints stacked up on top of each other, weight distributed all the way through the skeleton. All right, arms up, over the top. Deep breath in through the nose and bring it back down. So for you, if you can't get your arms up that high for this hour of the morning, because it is crack of dawn, just take your time, a little bit at a time. Up. I don't get out of bed until I've stretched, so I can't do that. My body is just too tight in the morning when I get up. So just do it a little bit at a time. Take your time. As you go, up and back down one more time like that. He just got under my feet. Arms up, feet steady, right underneath the hips. And we're going to come down to the side, over, ear up on the inside of the head so you don't stress that neck. And back up. A little bit of a squat here. We're going to stretch out the hamstrings, get the glutes warmed up a little, or the quadriceps warmed up a little bit. Up on top and over on the side again. Looking right straight out in front of you. Make sure that that neck, spine all the way, base of the spine all the way up into the head is nice and straight. Up again. Over to the side. Reach and back up. So this is a core exercise. We are using the obliques here as we come up. Bringing it off to the side, contracting the muscles on the one side to pull us down. And then we take the muscles on the other side and bring us back up again. One more time. Down and up. Off to the side. And last one. Bring it down and back up. So what happens a lot on these when people are doing a side bend is they lean forward, chin to chest. That those hunched shoulders cause so many problems. And one of them is that when you try to lean to the side, you're also turning that spine forward. And that's where you start to run into pinching, pains in the middle of the back, the lower back, and bring it down, shake it out, roll the shoulders back. Hands right here. We're going to start out standing. I didn't mention that, but here we are. Elbows back with this one again. If you can get those elbows back as far as you can, squeezing those shoulder blades together, you're going to find that you're going to stay in neutral posture. This promotes that neutral posture of back of the head and tailbone being in a straight line. First thing we're going to do is just some nice, easy rotations. Bring it around and back to center. So you're focusing on feet forward, knees forward, everything from the hips down. Concentrate on them being out, looking right straight out in front, and back in again. So we don't want to rotate anything else. This is for the thoracic spine, middle of the back, plus the obliques again. They're involved, just like pulling us down. They're the rotation muscles. So those muscles on the outside of the core are pulling, they're contracting, bringing you around. And in one more time over here. Bring it and back. Just try to concentrate as much as possible on everything staying forward so that you don't hurt the lower back or the middle of the back. All right, next thing we're going to do is just a side bend like we did before. But see if you can really concentrate on getting that elbow down as far as you can. Keeping the knees bent, keeping the torso forward and up. Keep that chin off the chest, looking right straight out in front of you, down on the side. So when you get down here, you should really feel those muscles between the rib cage and the hips working to pull you down. And slowly come back up. Other side, get those elbows back, keep them up and back. So it's easy to let gravity do the pulling and just let them hang there. Work those muscles to keep them up. Down and back up. Again, shake that out. So for right now, just go with this. Start here. Feet are a little wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to do a hip hinge to start out with. So that's butt goes back, knees stay over the ankles. Here your concentration. Close your eyes and imagine those ankles. Don't imagine it. Make it happen. Those ankles aren't moving. And back up again. All the movement happens in the knee, and it's the butt back. Knees do not go forward. The minute you do that, those ankles are engaged. That's not what you want. You want these muscles in the back chain. Again, remember, glutes are part of that core. Bring it back. And up. All right, so we're going to do that hip hinge. Concentrate on that right now. Getting that back straight. And we're going to reach out to the side, roll the shoulders. Again, we're really concentrating on the obliques here. Bring it around so you can turn the torso as you're coming around, but make sure those knees stay straight. Reach out. A little bit more of a hip hinge as you do it. So push that butt back a little bit farther and come back up. You can do this on the back of your cat chair. Same thing. Step off to the side and then just do a butt out, arms across at a diagonal. You just stay there. Don't worry about me. Out and back. Moving to the other side, same thing. Down. Bend in the knees. Always have a little bend in the knees. Back is straight. And come up out of that hip hinge. And up. So for that one, we're kind of using that lower back. But to lift us up out of that hip hinge, it's using the muscles in the glutes and the hamstrings to drive the hips forward so you're not using that lower back. Down and up. Don't do that. That's not good for you. It's going to cause problems. All right. Moving on, we are feet out at a diagonal. And start out hands on the thighs. Push it back a little bit forward. And roll up. Squeeze the glutes. Bring the hips in and push up. You're also going to feel that on the inner thighs. But there's more to this. I just want to get this part down first. Down. And up. One more time. Take it down, but back. And up. Here we go. Back here. Hands behind the head. Elbows back. Make really sure you're not pushing that chin down to the chest with the hands. All they're doing is cupping it. If you're having problems with that, get the hands to the outside of the head like you're wearing headphones, earmuffs, whatever. Same thing. And side bend. So you've got that little bend in the knees, coming down on the side, working those obliques again. So this one now you should be starting to get a little deeper than you were on the first ones. And back up. We're going to stay on that side. Again, if you want, use the chair. Hold on to the chair as you do this. Knees are bent, toes are out. Nice solid base. And come down straight down on the side, not toward the knee. Right down with the spine. And back up again. So concentrate on these muscles right on the outside of the torso, pulling you down. Stop, squeeze it, exhale. Remember, anytime you do a core exercise, you're always getting all that air out of the lungs, and you're doing that by tightening up those core muscles. Pushing the diaphragm back up again. Squeeze. And back up. One more time. Down. And back up again. This time as you go down with this hand on the head, bring it down behind you, get just a little deeper, reach behind the knee, and then back up again using the muscles. So now we're starting to get those opposite muscles, other side of the core engaged. Hand back, reach behind, back up again. Core muscles, keep the back straight and come right straight up. Down, reach behind, and up. And do that one more time just because it feels good. Down, hold, and back up. Plant the feet, ball the foot to the heel. When you come back up, don't let yourself go forward. Don't let the hips turn or knees bend. And we're there. All right, this time we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to go forward and reach that opposite knee. And then rotate back up. So this is where that hip hinge becomes really important. Coming down in that hip hinge, butt back, arm comes across, reach. So now we're doing rotation at the same time, getting even more of those obliques involved, and back up. A couple more times, down, reach across, roll the shoulders, keep them in a straight line. That's why your hands are up behind your head. So you keep those elbows back, spine straight, because all you want to do is rotate that spine. The hinge happens at the hips, not in the upper back. And up. All right, we're going to put those three together. So we're going to come down on the side, squeeze it, bring it up, arm down behind the knee, reach down, see how far you can go with it. How far you can go is up to you and your body. Seriously, worry about form before anything else. It's not about range of motion. Around. Different classes are about range of motion. This one, concentrate on getting that rotation and that side bend. This is all about those obliques. Hand behind the knee, reach back, a little deeper, and up, and then coming down, butt goes back, arm sweeps across, rotate the shoulders, out, knees stay forward, and back up. One more time. Down on the side, you realize we're going to have to do this on the other side, right? And bring it up. Just waiting for somebody to log out right about then. Reach. Can't do one side without the other. And up. And rotate. Reach across. Stretch. And back up. Check that out. Grab a quick drink of water before we go to the other side. Give your body a chance to cool off. Just a little bit. Hydrate whenever you need it. And if you don't feel like you need it, hydrate anyway. Because that's one of the bad things. As we get older, we don't recognize that we're thirsty, that we are thirsty, that we're getting dehydrated. So you want to make sure that even if you don't feel it, it's one of those things, buy one of those bottles that has how much did you drink today. Make sure you finish it each day. Don't buy a 12-ounce bottle. That's not enough. Should be bigger. All right, feet up. We're going to go to the other side. Reach, hold, and back up again. All right, so I got to catch myself here. One of the things I was doing, and I felt it in the neck as it was starting to get sore, keep the spine straight as you come down, bringing that elbow down, and back up again. So you're not bending the head to the side as you're bringing the elbow down, keeping the head up, straight line in the spine, and up. Two more. Feet are at a diagonal, knees are over the ankles. You're coming down by pushing the butt back just a little bit and up. Hold right there. One more time. Elbows back, head up, down. Exhale, blow it all out. Get those muscles in the stomach tight as you can get them, and then bring it back up to the top. We're going to take that arm, come behind the knee as we come down. Reach. And back up again. Go slow. Try to go as slow as you can. The slower you can go, the more those fine motor muscles have to work. If you just let gravity take you and bounce back up again, you're not getting out of here. This is what you should. You bring that arm down. Everything's working here. You can feel all the muscles on the side. Down, and then bringing you back up again. Really important to keep those heels grounded into the floor. Two more. Down. Reach across. And back up. One more. One more time. Down. Squeeze it. Hold down there. You never come out of it right away. Always get all the air out of the lungs. And then bring it back up again. We're going to cross body into the front. Elbow. Top elbow. Around. Reach. Butt back. Hip hinge. And back up again. So as you come down, butt goes back. Arm goes out. Sweeps across. Keep that elbow back on the upper arm. And back up again. One more time. Butt back, arm out, sweep, reach, exhale. There's a whole lot to do. And back up. That was one thing when I started doing these classes. I started to realize that every exercise has way many components that you have to do right. Down. It's like, wow, that's complicated. And up, hand out, behind the knee, reach. And the important thing with doing it right is that you get the muscles you need to, and you're preventing yourself from getting injured. Rotate, front, and back up, down on the side, and up. Finally, I realized that you just have to be conscious of every move you make all the way through the entire time you're working out. Around and back up, especially for older bodies. Down. I read it, and I truly believe it. Behind the knee is you've got that your margin of error reduces significantly as you get older. You don't have as much flexibility to make mistakes and get away with it as when you get older. Arms down. That's enough of that. All right. Chair assist. Chair assist. We're going to take our foot, leg out, put the foot down, start there, hip hinge. I'm sorry. You got the knee over the ankle. You're in a stagger step. Bring yourself back. Straighten yourself out so that from the knee up to the forehead, nose, your back, but the shoulder blades have to be back on this. So don't roll back and then the chin comes to the chest. All you're trying to do there is counterbalance. Make sure that you're holding onto the chair, using it for assistance, and back up again. Out. Here's what we're going to add to it. Arm up and back. Let me step back a little bit here. Knee stays over the ankle on the front leg. And back up. One more time. Back. And up. Using those muscles from the rib cage to the hips in the front. Rectus abdominis. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Knee comes up. Elbow comes down. Squeeze. And then back out again in that extension. Here's the important piece. Two pieces. Knee on the back leg always stays bent. The other thing is come up as high as you have to so that you're comfortable bringing this together, keeping the spine in neutral. So back of the head to the tailbone. Out, in, tuck. Feel the lower half of the stomach working, the upper half. And back out. Reach. And bring it in. As you come in, it's exhale. And step out. How high that knee comes up is up to you and your body. Your core muscles will say, yep, that's what I can do. And back out one more time. Bring it up. Squeeze it all together. And back out again. We're going to the other side. We're going to do the same thing. So if at any time this is a little too much, you start getting into like, wait, that's more than I want to do, just take a break. You can do these small. You can just bring the knee up and tuck and bring it back down again. Squeeze. Get that little roll of the hip up like we talked about earlier, and then extend back out again. So if you can, arm up above and elbow down, knee up, same side, squeeze. By not going from one side to the other, we're taking and not doing the obliques, not doing the outside of the core. We're just using those muscles right up through the front that bring the shoulder blades down or bring the chest down, rib cage down, hip up, reach back, up, squeeze. So I found this exercise, and I really like this because it's a lot safer on the back than any other way we've been doing it. At least I think so. Out, one more time. Bring it in, tight, and back out. So we gave the obliques a rest. Let's do the hands up here. Last one we'll take one more break. To start out with, we're just going to roll the shoulders to the side. Bring it back to center. Get yourself a good base underneath you. Knees have just a little bit of bend in them. Concentrating on nothing moves below the hips. Around and back in. This solid base is really important for everything that you do. That's where hip strength is so important. Around and back to stabilize the hips so they do stay in an alignment. Bring it around and back to center. We're just going to bring the leg up. So just up, tuck, and back in. Hold on to the chair. Bring up left leg. Turn the knee in without turning the hips. So it's just roll it in and back down. All the rotations happening within the hip joint. Other leg up, turn it, and back down. Up, and back down. A couple more. Up, and down. One more. You keep going. I'll be there in a second. My cat was working toward the computer, working his way to the keyboard. That would be ugly. All right. Hands out. Two arms or one, up to you. What we're going to do is leg up, knee over, rotate the upper body. This isn't knee and elbow coming together. This is rotate the shoulders, bring the knee across, and then back down again. If you don't have to hold on to a chair, you can bring that leg up, squeeze, and bring it back. Contracting on both sides, but heavily, heavily on this side that your elbow's on, and bring it back, up, and back down. Squeeze it, and bring it back one more time, up, across, and back down. So again, use the chair. This isn't a balance exercise. This is to work the core. Use the chair as much as you need it to help you. Start with the leg up, knee in, and back down. Feel the inner thighs working, outer hips stretching. It's great. This right here is a great piece to get some flexibility and strength into that hip joint. Up and around. If you have any pains in the hips, this is a really good way to get fluid into that joint. Up and back down. Elbow across, rotate, and back. Again, concentrate on, for this one, knee up and over, roll the shoulders back. Don't just reach across with that front arm. Roll the shoulders, keeping them in a straight line, and bringing it back. When you bring that arm across the front, using the chest muscles, we want to use these muscles on the side of the core. So it's up, if I can get this right, and across, bring it back. 3 more. Squeeze. Up here, tight. And then come back down again. 2 more. Feel this in the stationary leg too. Your hips are working really hard to stabilize those glute muscles, and in the posterior are working to keep the hips straight. We're good with that. We're going to sit down because I'm exhausted. I need a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. Water. You got it? You ready? All right. All right. Feet apart. Toes out, 45-degree angle, like when you were in that plie squat. Shoulder blades are back. Really important on this one. Keep those shoulder blades back. Put the weight into the hands to drive those shoulder blades back. And then let yourself hinge at the hip, concentrating on just the movement through the hips. Feel the stretch through the lower back, going into the glutes. Push up with the hands. Drive those shoulders back to come back up again. Anytime you're bending over while you're doing something, 1, don't turn and pick up at the same time. It is down straight, lift. Get yourself square to whatever you're picking up off the floor if you are, and back up. One more time, down. Hold, and push back up again. All right. Got about 5 minutes left here. Let's start out. Sit back on the chair, not all the way back, about 3/4 of the way back, and then bring your shoulders back against the back of the chair. So just right here, right now, we're just going to bring this up. You're going to really feel this in the core as you squeeze those core muscles. It's going to dry you up. So I've done this from way out and bringing the shoulders back. That's too hard. Bring yourself back in the chair. Roll the shoulder blades back. I find this is much better for the back. And really concentrate on this core muscle. So you exhale and bring you up. It's in that exhale that you're activating those core muscles. Otherwise, you use other muscles to bring yourself up. But once you've taken those core muscles and tighten them up to get all the air out of the lungs, it brings you up. And you can really feel these muscles working. And then you can start bringing the butt out just a little bit more if you want to make it a little more challenging. Up and back. Nice and slow. Sits bones on the chair. Nothing moves but that hip. Up, squeeze, exhale. And if I don't exhale, I don't feel those core muscles working. It's in engaging them to exhale that it also brings me forward and then back. Hands underneath the chair. We're going to bring the knee up in a tuck. Squeeze and back out. So the first thing that happened there, as soon as I did that, my chin started coming down to my chest and I started rolling my shoulders forward. That's why we're hanging onto the chair, to keep those muscles back, keep the chest out. Bring it up. Don't let that back move at all. You shouldn't feel the spine doing anything here except holding you in place. Up. This you're going to feel in the front of the hips. Those hip flexors. Lift that leg. Up Again, part of the core. Bring it up and back down. All right, if you're comfortable now, what are we doing with our hands? What do we do? Oh, yeah, here we go. Arms up, elbows out like we were before, bringing the foot up. So get yourself back in the chair. This one, I really want you to make sure that you're not hurting the lower back. You're just rotating through and bring it back down. Hip flexors, obliques working at the same time. Squeeze and back in. Other thing you want to watch for is foot coming in, because that's what happened to me. Inner thigh muscles are really tight. Outer thigh will have a little more bend to them, or a little more stretch to them. So keep that foot straight, knee, toe, hip, around, and back. I'm going to go just a little more of a lean here. I feel comfortable doing it without rotating without bending my back. And in one more time each side, up and over. Bring it back, other side. And you're there. So one of the exercises I stay away from is this one where you bring the knee up, you bring the elbow over, because what usually happens is you start to lean into it, hunching the back, and then rotating at the same time. Think about that whenever you make a movement where you're bending, that you're not doing two things at once like that. It's hard in the back. All right, foot out. Roll the shoulder blades back, grab onto the back of the chair. We're going to go in and out in a pedaling motion. So it's a circular motion with that heel. Up and out, bring it in. Hip flexor, quadriceps doing the work here. Rolling those shoulder blades back, using those core muscles to keep you upright, keep you straight. Up and out. If you have to put that foot on the floor, that heel on the floor, do it. If you don't have to, perfect. Up and around. And remember, where you're at today is not where you'll be next week, probably. Let's go again. Other side, up and around. Do that pedal. Control every other part of the body. Knee, ankle, hip are the only thing moving, and everything stays in a straight line. Up and out and out. You want to feel this? Hips to about halfway down the thigh. Up and back one more time. We're pedaling backwards. Look behind you. And we're good. We're good. Left hand behind the left thigh. Come out to the edge of the chair. Lift that leg up. Bring it out to the side and rotate. Just like that. Stretching out the inner thigh. Using the hand for all of this, making sure the knee stays over the ankle. Again, if you let that leg come in, it's always going to be there. If you can strengthen it up so that the foot and knee are in alignment, if they get strong that way, that's where they'll always go to. And down, so you don't even have to think about it. Other side, same thing. Pick it up, use the hand, relax that hip flexor, and around. Other foot stays straight. Sits bones don't move. You shouldn't feel any movement through the sits bones on the chair. And around. Change directions. Like that. And set it down. Back to a side bend. I want to stretch out these muscles. These muscles on the outside of the core between the hips and the rib cage are really warmed up right now. So let's get them stretched out. They're going to give us a lot here. So bring it down on the side. Deep breath in. Feel the ribs open up. Take the top hand. Bring it around. Use it to bring you up and over. And then you can go to the other side. Same thing. Take some deep breaths here. Especially when you get into the end of range of motion. Deep breath in, shoulder blades back, chest out. I was losing it. And back, down again, arms right straight out. Take right hand to the back of the chair, left hand to the outside of the knee. And rotate the shoulders, chin up, chest out. Making that rotation. Bring it back to center. Be really careful on this. The key points on this one. Feet stay flat on the floor, knees can't move. Because if the knees move, so will the hips. Hips are always pointed forward. Use that back shoulder as the driver to bring the front one around. And you're looking right straight out in front of you. If you ever feel a tweak at all on these in the lower back, stop immediately. All right, let's go ahead and stand up. We'll finish up with a couple deep breaths from a standing position. Arms across, deep breath in, up overhead. Through the nose, getting it deep into the lungs, push the stomach out. Feel the air go down to the lower part of the lungs and exhale. Full exhale, tighten up those core muscles, push the air out of the lungs and back in through the nose. Stomach out, exhale, bringing the arms down. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it, for getting up so early and doing this with me. And I will see you again next week.